Good day and welcome to Westpac's live Experts Angle webinar, Make the Most of Digital. My name is Rob Lockhart and I'm your host for today from Westpac's Davidson Institute. But with me today, we're very lucky to have Matt Collis and Ruth Cole from Glasshat, a digital marketing tool that helps business owners positively impact online visibility, drive more traffic and generate revenue. Welcome Matt, welcome Ruth.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hi Rob, thanks very much for having us here.
Okay, so in this live webinar today, Matt and Ruth will cover why the web is important for businesses transacting online and offline, and will also provide you with 10 creative and affordable ideas your business can implement to help increase traffic to your website. So let me tell you a little bit more about them. Matt's been working in the digital space for about 20 years and in 2008 founded Glasshat, a digital marketing tool that helps business owners positively impact online visibility, drive more traffic and generate revenue. Ruth has been working in online marketing for 6 years. She's currently the Product, Content and Performance Director at Glasshat and is responsible for joining the dots between the Glasshat technology and marketing actions it generates. But before I hand over to Matt and Ruth, there's a few little house rules that we need to go through. Now, today, to help things run smoothly, we've put everybody into listen-only mode or muted you. And that's to make sure we have a great session because otherwise there's way too much background noise. But let me assure you, this is a live webinar and we want to make it as interactive as possible. So we want your questions as we go along. To put a question in, you'll have to type them in. If you're on a computer, it's on the right-hand side of your screen there. You'll find a question section that you can type your questions in. If you're on a mobile device, it'll be a question mark at the top or the bottom. So put your questions in as you think of them. Matt and Ruth will actually go through the formal part of the presentation and then we'll answer all your questions at the end of that. Oh, by the way, if there's any other topics you'd like the Davidson Institute to cover, please type them into that question section as well. Now you'll notice one little thing down the bottom there, it's a disclaimer. And I've got to read this out for you because this webinar represents the views of the presenters and not necessarily that of the bank. You should seek independent professional advice before acting on any matters set out in this webinar. So it's now time for me to hand you over to Matt and Ruth. So Matt and Ruth, let's hear what you've got to say.
Thanks so much, Rob, and also thank you very much to everyone that's decided to take some time out of their busy day to listen to our webinar. We're really excited to be here. Let me just start by saying how passionate we are as a business about helping small businesses getting the most from their online presence. So for 8 years now, since I started Glasshat, we've been talking to a number of small businesses about the trials and tribulations of getting their website present in front of their customers and learning new ways and new techniques to engage with them. Some of the things that we hear the same time and time again, one thing's for sure is that there's no shortage of lots of energy and enthusiasm and excitement about what the web has to offer for a small business looking to grow. But on the other side, we also know there's a lot of uncertainty. We hear it again and again how businesses ask, what should I do next? Where do I start? And how do I go about doing it? So our mission at Glasshat is to help simplify the complicated field of digital marketing and help small businesses understand why they need to invest in building up their web presence and what they can get out of it. One thing's for sure about small businesses is that there's no shortage of a gut instinct around making decisions. We know small business owners make decisions day in, day out about what to do next for their business, but the web does have a level of complexity above and beyond what you would normally be trying to face. One thing most small businesses do absolutely get right, though, is that if you engage more with your customers online, then you do better. And these are some stats that are based on 3 different studies that we've brought to you today. These are stats from the Department of Industry, Innovation and Science, a Deloitte study of a survey of 500 small businesses, and the Australian Bureau of Statistics. So as you can see there, revenue for businesses that do better that engage more with their customers online get an increase of around $300,000 to $400,000 of annual revenue. Their yield per employee, i.e. the efficiency of revenue as to the size of that particular company, is significantly higher, more than two times as high, and they're also more confident in their expectations to grow. Finally, businesses that engage more with their businesses online are less likely to fail. We see a distinct number of businesses that are still around by engaging and growing online than those that don't. So what do we actually mean by digital engagement? Well, the study by Deloitte that I mentioned before talks about three different stages of digital engagement. We talk about digital presence, which almost all businesses have some form of, i.e. a business email address. Then we talk about the use of the internet, whether that be for communicating internally, doing some form of marketing and advertising, or finding new customers within their existing markets. Those businesses that are the most digitally engaged are those that also engage in some form of digital marketing, that being search engine marketing, search engine optimization, or display advertising. So regardless of where you are on this continuum, you can see that there's a broad spectrum of small businesses that have a degree of competence, whether that be just simply having a digital presence or going full force at making sure that your website's found within search engines or engaging in some form of paid advertising. So why is it difficult to become more digitally engaged? And the studies are quite consistent that we get quotes from small businesses. We hear time and time again, companies say to us, well, that's great, but how do I do it? Where do I start? Which one is right for me and which one isn't? And it's absolutely true that small businesses find far too often that the perception of doing any form of digital marketing is either too complicated or it's too expensive. They're not clear on what to do next and why, and they're unsure which tactics are really relevant to their particular business. And so we have three primary bits of advice for any small business considering engaging more with digital advertising. First of all, we encourage you to be selective. Don't try and do everything. Just do those things and select those things that are most relevant to you. Second is to make put a lot of effort and time into measuring the outcomes. One of the beauties of engaging digitally is that everything that you do, whether it be the number of visitors that you're getting to the number of customers that you're acquiring, it's all highly measurable. So any technique that you do spend the time to go on yield results from, make sure that you're actually trying to measure the outcomes. And thirdly, seek expert guidance. Find somebody that has the knowledge and the know-how that you can really trust. So what have we got to offer you today? Well, we've scoured our vast database of all the different things that you can do to grow your business online, and we've selected the top 10 ways that can help you grow based on these three criteria that try to overcome some of those key challenges. That being that these things are affordable, i.e. they're either free or at the very least they're really cheap to implement. Second, they're simple, i.e. they're quick to learn and there's a low chance of them going wrong. And thirdly, they're relevant to most small businesses, regardless of whether you're new or more established, whether you're bricks and mortar, regardless of what industry you're in, most of these techniques will be relevant to all of you. So get your notepads out. I'm now going to hand over to my colleague, Ruth, who will kindly talk us through the top 10 ways in which you can grow your business online.
Great, thank you very much, Matt. So yeah, as Matt said, we're just going to go through 10 different ways that you can build your business online. I'm going to share some ideas for tools that you can use, and I'm going to try and bring in some real-life examples where I can. So the first example we want to run through is starting off with going back to kind of grassroots efforts by looking at what you already do offline that you can use and leverage to drive traffic online. So I just want to start with an example to kind of inspire some ideas. I'm going to talk about a company called Fixed. They're a business that created an app which helps you fight parking tickets automatically. And what they did was they hired a team of people that they called ticket heroes. And these ticket heroes went out onto the streets of San Francisco where they were based, and they basically just looked for vehicles that had been given a parking ticket. And what they did then is they had a bunch of flyers which they just stuck to the windscreen of these people who'd already been given parking tickets. It was reported that in one day they actually managed to hand out 4,000 of these flyers to people, their exact target market, people who'd been hit with a parking ticket and needed to sort it out. So this is a really simple idea of just getting people out and about and flyering, but in a really creative, targeted and highly effective way that drove a lot of people online to their website to check out their app. So even if you're an online-only business or you're a small bricks and mortar business, it's really important to think, what are you doing now offline in terms of marketing efforts that you could leverage to bring people online? So do you do anything, are you involved in the community anyway, or do you volunteer? Do you host prizes and giveaways? Or do you have any discounts, deals or coupons that maybe could only be accessed online on your website and people have to go there to access them? So the key takeaway from this is really to leverage what you do offline. Like, don't create extra work, use what you're already doing. We've suggested here one quick idea is to maybe run or sponsor a local meetup that's targeted towards your audience. This again could be a great opportunity to kind of promote what you do online in an offline environment. So the next idea we've got is to audit your business listings. Now, this is key for any business that has a physical location, whether you're new, whether you're well established, whether you've just got one business or whether you've got multiple locations. It all boils down to making sure that you've got your business name, your address and your phone number listed in as many places as possible online. So just some stats to back that up. 97% of people search online for local businesses, and Google released a smartphone study that said 4 in 5 consumers use search engines to find local information. So basically, if you're not there, then you're missing out big time. So the first point is obviously just to make sure you're on a Google business listing. If you're new, please go and set this up as soon as possible. But if you're an established business who already has a business listing, then I'd really suggest that you go and review it and make sure that it's all up to date. Google are constantly changing the kind of information that you can upload and the fields that you can fill in. So revisit your business listing and make sure it's up to date. Once you've done Google, then obviously work your way through other important business listing sites like Yahoo and Bing, and there's obviously Yelp and Yellow Pages and other niche directories. You know, if you're hospitality, then obviously TripAdvisor would be a key one for you. And a quick tip here is just to search where your competitors are listed and make sure that you're there as well. So search for their name and find their business listings and just make sure that you're always present. So the third thing I'd like to talk about is to incentivize. Now, study after study has proven that referral marketing is one of the most powerful forms of marketing there is when it comes to driving sales and conversions. So this is basically when people obviously purchase products based on somebody else's opinion. A 2016, so pretty recent Nielsen study said that 67% of people are more likely to buy if they've received a referral from a friend. So a real life example here is I've got a screenshot there of PayPal. So when PayPal were first starting out, they had an amazing referral scheme where if you referred PayPal to a friend, you got and they signed up, you got $10 in cash, and every person who also signed up got $10 in cash. Or Dropbox, for example, a lot of us use Dropbox to store our documents online. If you referred Dropbox to a friend, they gave you and your friend extra storage. It's interesting to note as well that word of mouth marketing isn't confined to any particular industry. That was one of the other insights that came out from that 2016 Nielsen study. So it's really relevant for all small businesses, really, regardless of the industry you're in. But one thing to point out is that incentives do make a difference when it comes to referrals. So 88% of people said they would expect to be given an incentive for referring a business via social or email. So they don't just want to do things for the love of your business always. So these incentives could be things like a discount, some free products, a loyalty points if you've got a loyalty scheme, or early access if you're launching a new product or service. So the key takeaway here for your business is to start small and to try out with a referral scheme. If you can offer an incentive, if you can't, then maybe think what you can do. If you can offer an incentive, could it be a small discount to any new customers who sign up, and or could you offer any additional free services to the referrer? Just want to call out here, we've mentioned there's an app called Referral Candy. This can be a really quick and easy way to implement a referral program if you're interested in having a go. There's lots of referral apps out there, most of them are really low cost. Referral Candy actually has a free 30-day trial, so you can give it a try for nothing, and then it's just $25 a month thereafter. So, you know, there are apps out there to help you with these kind of referral schemes as well. So the fourth idea is really about website performance. This is a really critical success factor for driving business growth online, and it's relevant to absolutely every new established business of all size. If you're just starting out, then you definitely need to consider SEO and the performance of your website right from the word go. So that's getting your web developer or whoever's building your website involved. If you've got an older website, if you're a more established business, you might have done some SEO already. Maybe you've optimized some pages for some keywords in the past, but it's really important to remember that your website's performance is an ongoing job that you really need to allocate time to ongoing. So what I'm talking about here in terms of website performance is, does it load quickly is one of the key things. So 47% of consumers expect a web page to load in 2 seconds or less, which is a pretty short time. And 40% of people actually abandon a website if it takes more than 3 seconds to load, so you really haven't got much time to play with, and the performance of your website really impacts on this. There's also lots of other considerations, you know, does your website look good on mobile? Have you got any broken links that you need to fix? Now, there's lots of things to consider, but the really important thing here is not to get overwhelmed and put off by the task in hand. It might seem technical and it might seem challenging, but there's so many different simple and quick things that you can do for your website. So there's a couple of options here. You could either pay for an expert to look at the website, they'll go through and they'll audit and come up with some recommendations for you, or you could experiment with using an online tool to analyse your website. Obviously Glasshat's one such tool, and it's a platform that we've built that crawls and analyses your website and identifies a list of issues you need to fix. Now, each of those issues that we generate, we kind of tell you how long we estimate that it will take to fix and how difficult we estimate it is. But the important thing is that we provide a full list of instructions on how to fix it as well. So great for small business owners who are looking for a cost-effective solution, who might want to either try and have a go at fixing up their website themselves, or, you know, if you want to send instructions to a freelancer or you've got overseas resource, really cost-effective option. But, you know, making sure the website performs the best it can is really key if you want to drive traffic. So the next slide we've got is about integrating to grow. Now, it's all about being where your customers are online, and in times, you know, we live in times of really rapidly evolving kind of technology, and making sure that you're integrating your product and your service and your business with popular platforms where customers already spend their time is a really smart move. Many companies now use their kind of Facebook pages as real-time forums or support areas, or you can connect your like button to kind of exclusive discounts. And being present in those places where your customers already spend time is a great way to boost referral traffic and make sure that you're always extending that reach. I just wanted to call out a real-life example here on the right for some inspiration of how maybe you could use your Facebook page to your advantage. So for something other than just kind of sharing posts and articles that you like. So I found this example from Intrepid Travel, and they're a Melbourne-based travel tour company. And actually on their Facebook page, you can see on the left, on the image I pulled, on the left there's lots of different tabs. They actually have an option for customers and prospective customers to check out reviews that people have left about all the trips they've run. It's a really innovative way to get that content and engage and add value to people on your Facebook page. You can even search for recent trips that they've got coming up as well. They've got a separate tab there. And you can see that they've also linked through to all their other social channels. They're really integrating and bringing everything together in one place. Obviously, you can always then visit the website after coming to the Facebook page. But the key takeaway here is, how could you be offering extra value by integrating your business more on social? You your social page is somewhere where you can share articles you like, but the social platforms are always experimenting with new features and new ways to enhance your page. So make sure you check in and see what those new features are. We've come up with an idea here that you could try is, could you create a group to reward customers and make them feel special? For example, could you create a Facebook group or maybe a LinkedIn group that's exclusive to people who've purchased your product? It's a great opportunity to include links back to your sales pages, send emails inviting them to join, and also you could send them exclusive discounts and coupons as well. It's just another way to kind of make sure that you're engaging those people who've shown interest in your business. So we've also got the idea here of looking beyond Google. So most people use Google, that's a fact. Just to give you an idea of the numbers, it's about sort of 75% of people use Google, 10% Bing, and 7% Yahoo. But it's probably likely that if you're going to, your first place to port of call to invest your marketing dollars, if you're going to do some page search, would be Google AdWords. But don't forget to consider some of the alternatives to Google out there. Some of them often have kind of lower barriers to success and may even cost less, but could still drive you some relevant traffic. So some examples are obviously look at Bing advertising, Facebook obviously offer their advertising, LinkedIn, or even websites like Gumtree. You can invest and pay for adverts there. So look for advertising opportunities on networks where you can get your business in front of your customers and where they're likely to spend time. In terms of a key takeaway, try it yourself. So the first place to start here is to actually talk to your customers and find out about where they go online, where do they spend time, and more importantly, when they're researching your products and services that are related to your business, where do they actually go? So when you've created a picture of this and you understand, you can really start to investigate if there are other channels that you should be investing in for paid advertising that might actually, again, have that lower barrier to success, but it can still drive you the referral traffic. So number 7 is to install Google Analytics. Now, Google Analytics is essential for any business, but what's really important to remember here is that whether you're new and you've just got to set it up because you haven't done it yet, or whether you're an established business and maybe you've got Google Analytics set up and you maybe check in once or twice a month to track traffic figures, it's about making sure that you fully understand how powerful the Google Insights can be if you really want to take your business to the next level. It's not just about monitoring traffic. There's so many other ways that you can use Google Analytics, and it's about really understanding that right from the word go. So just as an idea, Google Analytics allows you to collect and analyze information from everything like how a user arrived at your website, what they did whilst they were there. You can understand how visitors use your website and identify areas where your website's falling down and you're not satisfying users or you're not meeting their needs. So for example, this could be as simple as viewing which pages have a really high bounce rate. So a bounce rate is when someone lands on a page, doesn't find what they're looking for and isn't satisfied and leaves your website straight away. You could understand how people find your website, what channels do they use, and also how long they spend when they get there. And more importantly as well, you can understand who's visiting. So GA offers some great demographic info. You can understand what location they're in, what gender they are, and even Google can even tell you what they're interested in now as well. So a key takeaway here is if you're new, then please go and set up Google Analytics for your website today. If you already have a GA account, then we really recommend that maybe you think about spending some time or asking someone in your team to undergo one of the many free training courses to just get your head around what Google Analytics is about. I'd suggest you search for Analytics Academy. It's Google's free online training courses, and it's the best place to get started, to really get your head around and make the most of what you've got. You've got access to that data, so use it. So idea number 8 is to build a killer email list. So email marketing is still one of the most effective methods of directly communicating with your customers. It's a great way to encourage them back to your website. It's really important to retain and re-engage them. But it's important to remember as well that email marketing really starts with that great list of contacts. And it's important that you've got the right list of people that you can send emails out to and engage with. So some quick ideas and simple ways that you can grow that list could be to encourage current email subscribers, if you've got an email subscriber list, to share and forward emails. You could create a new page on your website where people can easily subscribe and register for your emails. And again, going back to grassroots efforts, think about how you can capture email addresses offline, because they're really valuable to you online in terms of getting people to your business online and kind of growing it that way. So the idea we've got is find quick and simple ways to grow your email marketing list that works for you, and then use it to leverage and promote an existing promotion. So maybe you're thinking about running a promotion this summer, or you're going to be doing some great Christmas discount. You've already created that marketing material, so why not convert that promotion into an email and leverage it to add extra value by sending it out to this email list that you've created. It's a great way to kind of re-engage and just put your business in front of mind and get straight into people's inboxes. So near the end now, just idea number 9 is to automate your marketing, or try and automate everything you do. So marketing automation has actually been around, since the 1980s. We use software to automatically insert people's names and addresses from the database onto letters and envelopes when you wanted to send direct mail to your customers. The difference between then and now is that there's this concept of real time and the vast amount of data that you've got available on your customer. And you can harness that using kind of marketing automation. So when I talk about marketing automation, what I mean is when you use software that streamlines and automates any of the tasks that you currently do manually. So for example, you might send out emails manually to customers to let them know about a promotion, or even just creating that email list that we talked about before on the previous slide. Have you got a spreadsheet that you're manually copying and pasting email addresses into? Are you updating your social media? Are you logging in and updating every single post? Or even if you're kind of creating a new page on your website for promotion, you can automate all of these things with relatively affordable and easy to implement tools. So I just want to call out 3 ideas here. So one tool that we think is great is Buffer. So Buffer's been around for a while now. It's a really smart way to share on social media really quickly and to maximize any reach. So you can upload content or use the browser extension that they have every time you come across something interesting. And what Buffer does is it works out the best time to send that social media content out for your audience. And one of the great things about Buffer is that it's free. It has free plans for individual users. For a small business, it's perfect. Constant Contact. So this is some email marketing software. Really easy to use and affordable. It gives you customizable templates, so you don't have to build those emails yourself. You can just kind of drag and drop and pick those templates that work for your business. And then you can track and report on how many people open those emails and how successful they were and what did they click on. And they've even got a mobile app so you can track on the go as well. You can actually try Constant Contact free for 60 days, which is great, and they've got plans that start from $20 a month. So again, it's relatively affordable. It's not a huge investment. And the final tool I just wanted to call out was Lead Pages. So if you are, maybe running a summer promotion, or you're going to be doing a great Christmas deal, Lead Pages lets you choose from, they've got hundreds of mobile responsive landing pages with drag and drop customization. So you could really quickly and easily create a specific landing page that you send people to that really helps them convert and take you up on that offer. And they have plans which start from $25 as well. So the final idea, number 10, is to really harness the power of Facebook retargeting to re-engage and drive people back to your website as well. So the main benefit of retargeting and why we're recommending it is it allows you to reach people who've previously engaged with your business. So this means people who've maybe visited your website already, maybe they've subscribed to your newsletter, or it's someone who's already bought something for you. And the main benefit of this is someone who's already engaged with your business is far more likely to convert. And the way that, so what we're talking about is retargeting, and how this works is if somebody visits your website and they leave without completing an action, so this could be, they haven't bought anything, they haven't signed up, they haven't booked an appointment, they haven't subscribed. Next time they visit Facebook, they'll be shown your ad, they'll be shown your business, and it'll be right in front of them. And it again just puts you front of mind and encourages them to come back and visit your website. It's a great way to bring the website visitors back to go and complete that purchase or complete the action that they came there to do. Because ultimately, you need them to go and complete these actions if you want to grow your business online. It's the key pivotal point. So the key takeaway here is have a go at Facebook retargeting. It's really targeted and effective way to re-engage people. You simply, if you've got a Facebook business page, in the top toolbar, you can obviously just select the Facebook ad manager to get started. And when you're creating a campaign, there's a drop-down menu there that allows you to select custom audiences. And you basically can just upload the list of contacts that you'd like to target. So that could be that emailing list that we've talked about you creating before, or maybe a list of the email addresses or the contact details of people who've already bought from your product, or potential leads that you want to re-engage. So it's just about leveraging exposure to people who are already aware of your business and are interested in products and services you sell. So those are the 10 ideas that we've got. They're all, like we said, relatively cheap or free to implement. And they're relevant for whether you've got a new business or you're more established. So I hope you find them useful, and I'm just going to pass back to Matt.
Thanks so much, Ruth. Wow. Well, we really hope that regardless of your level of digital engagement currently, that you've managed to get something from those tips. Thanks so much, Ruth. One of the things, I ran that list by a small business friend of mine last night, and I asked for their perception of, they're reasonably advanced, and I asked, well, what's the difference between what you're doing as a small business owner versus those that haven't? And she said to me, well, Matt, that's the key difference is about mindset. You need to have the mindset to take action, and we all know that unless you take action, that you won't get a result. So if there's nothing else but you manage to get one thing from that list of 10 things and you actually take action on that, then we would feel really great, because you'll get value from taking time out of your busy day to day to get some value into your business. Now, if you've done more of those, or if you're in the unique position of having done all 10 of those, and you would like more recommendations, then we can provide you with a selection out of our vast database of all the different things that you can do to your website to boost traffic. There's a very simple 4-question form to fill out on the website URL, and it will be available, if you haven't got a chance just to make a note of that now, /website traffic tool. It's a free tool that if you tell us about your business, whether you're a bricks and mortar, B2C, B2B, or you're established or new company, then we'll give you a custom selection of more recommendations specific to your business with instructions about what you need to do next and why. And if that's not enough, then it will be remiss of us obviously not to plug a little bit about who we are and what we can offer you in terms of our usual service. And we've got additionally, we've got a special offer to all attendees to the webinar today, or if you're a customer of Westpac. If you're feeling gutsy and you want to have a go at doing it yourself in terms of digital marketing, then we have a software platform called Glasshat, which provides you ongoing custom recommendations for your website with specific step-by-step and prioritized recommendations, exactly what you should do next and why. We offer you a 14-day free trial with an initial set of recommendations, and if you like those and would like to continue to get ongoing recommendations every month and a full suite of them, then it's from a very affordable price of $49 a month. Additionally, we have a professional starter pack, which normally retails at just shy of $1,900, but today we're doing a special offer for Westpac customers at $890. We offer you free keyword research. We identify for you what are the top 5 search terms that your customers are currently looking for and that's relevant for your website. We provide you a free benchmark comparing your website to those of your competition. We include a 12-month Glasshat license, which will provide you those ongoing recommendations every single month that's worth at full price $588. The recommendations that we provide you in this pack are completely ready to brief to your web developers. So one of the problems that many small businesses talk to us about is it's great that I know what I need to do next roughly, but I need to get some help, and how do I tell somebody else what it is that I need to do? The format of these recommendations comes in a report that you can send on to your web developer, whether that's someone within your company or an external party. You can send them on for them to help you with. And we're also going to offer you a free 1 to 2 hour consultation with one of our digital marketing specialists that will talk you through the recommended plan and make sure that you understand every step of those recommendations and answer any of your questions. As I said, an exclusive offer today. It runs until the end of September. It is limited spaces and on a first come first served basis. So if you're interested, please go to our website, glasshat.com/Westpac-promo. Thanks very much again for listening to us. We really hope that you've got some value, and I'll hand back to Rob to wrap up.
Thanks a lot for that, Matt, and thanks, Ruth. Been absolutely wonderful hearing your tips and things that have come through today. Absolutely brilliant. Now it's time for me to have a quick look at what questions you may have sent through. If you haven't put a question in yet, there's still time to put questions in, so please type them in now, and I'll get Matt or Ruth to answer those, whichever one's best. So let's have a quick look at what we've got there and see what's the best thing. Okay, so I've got one here from Carolyn, which says, if you are going through a rebranding exercise and wish to update your listings on True Local, etc., will your old business name still appear? If client searches on Google, how do you get Google to remove old listings? So who's best to answer that?
I'm going to jump.
Okay, Matt's going to jump in by the looks of things.
I think Ruth did most of the heavy lifting there, so I'll get stuck in here. Thank you very much, Carolyn, for your question. Actually, depending on your circumstances, it depends on the right advice to give you here. So if I don't quite answer your question specifically here, please do feel free to follow up. I'm going through a rebranding exercise, obviously a lot of work, and I think what you're saying is that your website is, you're changing your business name, and you've currently got that listed on directories such as True Local. Now, if you do change your listing on True Local, that is actually one of the websites that Google will re-index. So once you've made the change, your company name will change within the Google search results. Unfortunately, you don't have any control to remove anything from Google. So if your customers are still searching for your old customer name, clearly there's not a great deal that you can do about any content that exists on websites that still carry that content. What you can do is change it on those business directories, so True Local, Yelp, Google My Business, and you can change them there, and you may have the opportunity to change those listings. And once you've gone through the most obvious placements, you could then research on Google for your old company name and see whether the listings are on websites that you have some degree of control over. Hopefully that does answer your question. As I said, it does depend, but if you do need more information, do feel free to either type it into the search box or to contact us afterwards, and we'd be more than happy to try to help you further.
All right, let's. So we've had just a thank you from Carolyn. So thank you, Matt, for giving her a comprehensive answer there. At the moment, it doesn't look like we've got any further ones coming through. So I'm going to say Ruth and Matt must have done an absolutely fabulous job here of going through this. But I'm sure some of you are still thinking about some of the things or those 10 steps that Ruth went through. So feel free to email us. We will actually be emailing you out a copy of the an email this afternoon. We're going to be putting this recorded webinar up onto our website. We will ask you if you want us to pass on your email details to Matt or Ruth, and we will get them to get in contact with you if you wish that to be the case. So without any more questions coming through, I want to thank everybody today for attending, and I hope you got a lot out of it. Also, a big thank you to Ruth and Matt for sharing their insights today. And by the way, don't forget to go and see Glasshat's website to make sure you check out what they have on offer and take up that promo, which is www.glasshat.com/.
Where's /
Westpac-promo / I always love reading out website addresses. They're so wonderful. So thank you all again, and good day.